What is going on, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Today we will be talking about Marvel Rivals leaks, whether or not the Marvel Rivals team is actually trolling us with how many leaks we get every single day for new heroes. Pretty insane. We will be taking a look at what Marvel Rivals has said directly about these leaks, as well as later in the video how they choose heroes to enter the roster for the game. So it's all really interesting. If you guys enjoy Marvel Rivals content, my name is Chubbs Gaming. I do Marvel Rivals gameplay, news, and character guides. If you guys enjoy this video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future content. Okay guys, for this video, we're delving into an article by IGN, and I'll actually have the link to it down in the description. But basically, from what people have said online, they believe that the Marvel Rivals team is actually trolling the data miners, the people who are bringing us all these leaks. So let's get right into it. Marvel Rivals data miners think the developers are trolling them with lists of potential future characters hidden in the game's code, but NetEase and Marvel say they have better things to do, which we'll get into later on. So last month there have been a ton of potential heroes that were leaked, a few of whom seem to be confirmed pretty quickly, as real as the Fantastic Four, because they were officially announced. We already have obviously Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman in the game, and we will be getting Thing and Human Torch on the 21st. However, as a list of data mined heroes grew, a different rumor began to circulate in the community. Some of the names were fake, planted there by developers to mislead data miners. And I know for me in my channel, I have gone over some of these leaks. I did make a video on 10 heroes and 10 villains that I would like to see added into the game. Some of those heroes were actually included in the leaks, but a lot of them weren't. You know, they were just ones that I would personally like to see added. And if you guys want to check those out, they will be linked in the description down below. But IGN recently had the opportunity to directly ask Marvel Rivals producer Wei-Kong Wu and Marvel Games executive producer Danny Koo if they're secretly performing an elaborate troll. And while it sounds like there are no pranks being pulled here, we should still take the names being found in the code with a grain of salt. And this is the quote from Wu. So firstly, we want to say that we don't recommend anybody to make adjustments to the files of the game, he began. Also, you can see that for each character's design, actually we come through a very complicated process and we make a lot of concepts, trials, prototypes, development, etc. So there could be some information left in the code, and it might mean that we have tried those directions and they may appear or may not appear in our future plans. And whether or not they will appear in our future pipeline is highly depending on what kind of gameplay experiences our players expect in our game. Koo also added, if I could have a 10-year plan, it'd be great, but the team experimented with a lot of playstyles. It was like there's someone doing scratch paperwork and then just left a notebook there, and someone, a data miner, decided to open it with no context. I mean, that makes sense. There's probably going to be so much code in the Marvel Rivals game, things that they are just trying out, and it's not for sure going to be in the game, and then the data miners find it, and they tell everyone that this character or this character was found in the code, so that means they're going to be playable in the game, and it's going to be very soon, and that's just not the case. So we have to take, you know, a lot of these leaks with a grain of salt, and I know that I do that myself. Any type of leak, you know, you never know if it's going to be true or not. And then IGN also just asked them point blank if they were trolling people, and Koo replied, no, we would rather spend our time developing the actual game, which is a great response. I mean, if you just have the makers of Marvel Rivals just trolling its player base, it's not really a good sign. But based on what we've been given from Marvel Rivals, they are an awesome team, and they're bringing us a fantastic game. They have really impressed me with, you know, how quickly they were able to change the ranked reset that they announced, which I actually made a video about as well, linked in the description. But that was something that I was not excited for, and a lot of other people weren't as well, and they switched it almost immediately, giving the players what they want, which is a good sign. This is also something interesting as well. In the same conversation, we also discussed how a character gets chosen to be added into Marvel Rivals in the first place. The two told me that the team plans updates roughly a year in advance. I mean, that's insane. They really plan ahead. I'm pretty sure it's like this for most games, hopefully, probably like Fortnite and all that. They do plan well in advance, which is awesome. And they are committed to keeping its current pace of adding new characters every month and a half. For each update, NetEase first looks at what type of character and skill set is needed to balance out the rest of the game and add a variety to the roster, and come up with a list of several different possible additions. Wu told me that part of NetEase's strategy for achieving game balance is to focus less on aggressively tweaking existing characters to be perfectly fine-tuned and more on adding new characters and experiences to keep things fresh, fill gaps, support characters that are a bit weak with new team abilities, or counter characters that might be a little too strong. That's interesting they add that in there because we're going to see the thing hop in on February 21st, and based on those leaks of his abilities, now again, we don't know if these are true, but it's most likely they are. But basically one of his abilities is that he cannot be moved by other characters, like he's as solid as a rock is what the ability is called. He can't be pulled forward or back, and people are speculating that this will be a counter to the Wolverine leap where he grabs someone. You know, Wolverine just isn't strong enough to lift the thing up in the air, so he's not going to be able to do that. So that is interesting that they put this in there. I do like how they're kind of just more focused on adding new characters. I think they're going to tweak heroes here and there. They do add the boost for each season. Currently right now I believe it's Hela and Cloak and Dagger, and last season it was Hawkeye, so that's why he was nerfed this time. He was just way too powerful in general. But I do think they will like nerf or strengthen heroes once a new season starts, which is good. But their main concern is the new characters that will be added to kind of balance everything out. Once they have a list of possibilities, NetEase then takes these suggestions to Marvel Games and began working on initial designs. From there, they look at what the community is currently excited about, as well as what's planned a year in advance in other Marvel divisions, such as if a big film or comic arc is coming, they can tie a character in with that. That goes directly with the Fantastic Four. We got the trailer for them, and then their new movie's coming out in July, and they're going to be the main focus point for season 1 of Marvel Rivals, which is great. Get everyone hyped for that movie. That helps them come to a final decision on who's going in. All this explains why there might be a lot of different heroes listed in the code. NetEase just has a lot of ideas is tossing around all the time. So this is great news. I think it's awesome that Marvel Rivals is being so forward with all their plans and everything, and they're really putting trust in the player base and in the community, and I think that that's just great. I know that I'm super excited for all the characters, the leaked ones and even ones that aren't leaked. I just want to see in the game one day. We're going to go over actually a list of all the ones that were leaked. Most of these are X-Men actually, and some of them were in my previous video like I mentioned prior. And again, these might be real, they might be fake. Let's see. We have Quicksilver, Professor X, Cyclops, Colossus, Pasty Pot Pete, I have no idea who that is, Jia Jing, if that's how it's pronounced, Gambit, Rogue, Nightcrawler, Jubilee, Beast, Locust, and Crystal. I know that there's been a few others. Like I know like Deadpool has also been leaked. Jean Grey, I don't know if she was in this list, but she was also leaked as well. So I mean, there's really like a lot more that we could just put in here as leaks. Again, we don't know if these are for sure coming or not. Professor X would be interesting. I don't know how they're going to pull it off. He'll probably be a strategist, but I mean, I just picture him wheeling around the map, flying in his chair. That would be pretty funny. Quicksilver would be really cool. I think that a speedster would be something really new. I'm sure that they're working on Quicksilver right now. Cyclops would be awesome. Colossus would be great Vanguard. Paste Pot Pete, I'll put a picture of him on the screen. I don't know who that is. Gambit also will be awesome. The leaks for him, apparently he's going to be 5-star difficulty. Nightcrawler would be cool, teleporting everywhere. Beast as well. I don't know if he would be a Vanguard or a duelist. We'll have to see. Locust and Crystal, I'm not sure who they are as well, but I'll have pictures of everyone on the screen. But these are the leaks, and yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. There's just so many characters that Marvel Rivals has in their playing field that they could add into the game. It's really awesome. This game is like never ending. Also, guys, join me down in the comment section. What do you think of the Marvel Rivals team and all these leaks? Do you think that a lot of these are true? Do you think a lot of them are fake? Which character leaked are you excited to see most join the game? So there we have it, guys. Marvel Rivals is not trolling its player base. They have just a lot of ideas, prepping a year in advance. There's going to be characters in there that could be coming and could not be. So take every leak with a grain of salt, but make sure to subscribe if you haven't. I'll be covering all the Marvel Rivals news right here. Check out my other Marvel Rivals content in the meantime, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.